Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while. Moses here. It's been a hell of a grind. This race is just about to be over. There's just one day left to the Flashback synthesis event. I've been playing solo self-found, and it's been a hell of a grind. And I'm here to talk about this character a little bit, show you what kind of upgrades I managed to get and craft, and how this character turned out to be, and potential future plans for this character. So let's get started. First, I mean, this has been the most unluckiest run I've ever had in any video game in the history of ever. So just if you guys haven't been following the stream recently, even this flask right here, the Atziri's Promise, you know, you gotta do an Atziri run. Obviously, right now at level almost 99, just 12% off. I got a whole bunch of these, but I needed a midnight piece, right? And at the first 24 hours of this race, I spent probably about 4 hours just running sacrifice pieces trying to drop a midnight. If you didn't know, you can run a sacrifice piece. In the map device, it will open a Val corrupted side zone, and inside there's a boss, and you kill the boss. We're not going to actually do that now, but it will drop a fragment. High likelihood it will drop a fragment. I ended up running about 100 of these, trying to get a midnight so I can get an Atziri run, and when I finally did, I didn't even drop the flask, which has like, I don't know, 70% chance to drop. I got the boots and then I had to run another one. It's been terrible. And for a build like this, you get the physical as extra chaos, and then you get the elemental as extra chaos, and you get the chaos resist, which is huge. And the leech, right? So don't need to tell you, this flask is actually detrimental in your build success and in your progression. It is just an enormous amount of damage and defenses that you're getting out of it. So it's pretty important flask to get. And usually I would around level 75 have myself a flask like that. I got this flask at level 92. All right, like we're talking day 3 of the race. I'm level 92. So it's kind of crazy. Day 3, maybe day 2, day 3 or something like that. So that insane. The second part was the 6 link. Now, if you guys remember, I had for a little bit. Where is it? For a little bit there, I was running this thing, right? Restless Ward. This thing just dropped off of a chest in the Nexus, and by the way, stop doing Nexus around level 95. Too rippy for that. So basically, this is a glorified tabula. It dropped as a 6 link. It dropped, I believe it was like day 7 or 8, like a week into the race, or past a week into the race. Up until then, I was just running a 5 link. But when I got this, it's basically a glorified tabula. Restless Ward. It does increase duration of all your power charges, whatever, but basically it's just a little bit of life, a little bit of mana, some evasion, some energy shield, and that's it for a 6 link. So you could say I pretty much ran without a 6 link for like ever. And then I got this Carcass Jack. I believe it was sometime in the second week. I got the Carcass Jack that I couldn't link. I had like a terrible luck. Of course, it's so self-found, so this Carcass Jack took forever to link. I'm talking 7,500 fusings, almost three weeks. Basically, just about like the race is about to end. There's just one day left. I got my 6 link around 4 or 5 days ago. So just imagine getting your 6 link at level 98 and 40%, like literally in the past few days. So imagine the huge difference that would make. Right now, of course, once you manage to 6 link, floodgates are open, the dam is broken, and yeah, I managed to 6 link everything. As you can see, I got just a bunch of 6 link. this chevrons dropped. I just for the kicks, once I had, you know, the links over here and here, I got this. I think it was like 20 jewelers to get the 6 sockets and like 30 fusings for the 6 link. This was the same, like 15. Belly of the Beast, I 6 link. Oh, by the way, perfect roll, 40, 15, and near perfect armor. Pretty sweet. So I got all these 6 linked in like total of maybe 100 fusing. We're talking, you know, the incandescent and the chevrons and the belly, all great body armors. You know, I could totally use if I got them earlier in the race, but of course I got it all in like the past 72 hours basically. And of course, you know, 5-6 links in like 300 fusing versus the first one that took me 7.5 thousand. We're talking weeks and weeks and weeks of this race, just no 6 link. That completely hindered my progress. Yeah, at a certain point I thought maybe I run Winter Orb. I didn't like it. I respect it was an attempt. I had all the gems leveled up and everything. It was an attempt. I Winter Orb, it's not my thing. I don't like anything about that skill. What can I say? Everybody loves it. That's great. Totally not for me. So I ended up ditching the idea. Outside of that, I got some pretty nice items, so let's go through the gear. So obviously we have our lore weave. Once I had lore weave and you know, carcass jack 6 linked, I double valved both of them. I got white socket over here, whatever, and I got +2 level socketed duration gems, which could be really good if I was playing Winter Orb, but I really don't like the skill. So, you know, what we do get off of it is Innervate, getting +2, because Innervate is a duration gem. So it's a little bit of lightning damage, no, not too big. But yeah, we got the lore we've rolled pretty incredible. Obviously this is a non-crit build, so we only want the life, the elemental damage, and the all resists here. A little bit of mana and rarity is just a bonus, some stat points. But yeah, very, very defensive, very nice chest. Too bad I only had it at level 98.6 or 98.5 or something like that. The gloves I just crafted with pristine fossils. I just wanted the life mana. I got lucky here to get a big dexterity roll. That kind of helped. And with pristine fossils managed to get that 3% life. And crafted the suffix of the increased elemental damage with crit recently. It's not a crit build. But we do crit, we proc our elemental overload for the 40% more elemental damage, and yeah, so we do get our increased elemental damage. That's pretty sweet. The belt's nothing too insane, just something that I found. Resists life, increased flask effect, fizz damage to spell, some resist, some life, some ES. Nothing too insane over here. The wands are just profane wands for the cast speed. The build up time for the you know, the 20 stacks. Build up time is yeah. Of course, you want it with the onslaught, you want it with the frenzy charges, and then it kind of ramps up much quicker. But yeah, you do want the cast speed. So at a certain point in the race, I started just picking up white profane wands and using all my essences on them. I still use it. I still, yeah, don't stack too many essences every time I use it. Every time I find one, I pretty much use it on white profane wand. This one has nice spell damage roll, nice lighting for spells, big, you know, mana roll for a little bit of mana of matter action, and some open prefix, open suffix for cast speed. Pretty much the same over here, except instead of spell damage, we have lightning damage as extra chaos, which is a mod I managed to get. Crafted cast speed, and no lightning damage for spells, just some fire. Nothing too insane, just some basic stuff. The amulet is pretty freaking insane. I crafted it myself. Alter Ego, augments, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just a big chunk of damage there. Something like 20k. Yeah, 84, 101. No life, but yeah, we got that. What do we get there? Max energy shield instead of getting life. But hey, you know, You can't win them all, but it's a pretty nice roll overall. Double tier 1 Fizz Extra, Cold and Lightning, quite nice. This is really insane actually. This is a helmet that I just found as it is from the temple. Temple Vatsuato, I've been running it the entire time. It's a level 83 zone, and Alva, you know, in 2 incursions I get to, yeah, so I got, in this current temple I don't have it, but normally I would have a map room, currency room, jewelry room, Tempest room, lightning room, and in these Tempest and lightning rooms you will get, you know, contains valuable items, and that's when you can find some pretty insane one-handed weapons if you're lucky. This is where I found my first weapon. It had like 77% increased lightning damage and like flat lightning damage, and then I augmented and cast and crafted cast speed and flat lightning to spells. It was kind of insane. I replaced it with the profane one since then, but it was a pretty good weapon. So definitely good stuff you can get into temple. But this helmet is actually ridiculous because it rolled, you know, it's tier 1 life, and then I rolled life energy shield on it. But outside of having, you know, 47 light res, 41 fire res, and 48 cold res, this helmet is ridiculous because it has that 10% physical damage is taken as lightning, and since lightning I have 78% resistances to lightning, that means that I basically mitigate 7.8% of all incoming physical hits through this helmet. And this helmet you can only get from the temple. This is a drop from the boss in the temple. So this is the only way. You must go and kill Temple of Vatsuatl to drop insane stuff like that. And throughout the entire race I've been dropping crazy stuff from the temple, so I totally recommend you guys to do it. Another thing that we have here is just a Warlord's Mark ring. I managed to craft it and just double slammed. Got lightning and chaos res over here, some mana, some life. Not too bad at all, you know, for the leech. And converting the damage to cold so that we will get some freezes, some chills, and enemies will be slowed down, more defensive, and it gives us some lightning damage and fills in the resistances that we need, and chance to shock against frozen enemies is also pretty nice. So we added additional chance to shock against the, you know, enemies that are frozen. It doesn't happen too much because we are not focused on critting and on, you know, freezing, but it does happen occasionally, and it is a pretty nice bonus little thing to have called the Brotherhood here. And yeah, the last thing is this pair of boots right here, which I've been crafting throughout the entire league. Back up until level 95 or so, I was doing Nexus, and I was constantly picking up boots to get the 30% fractured movement speed. Because when you do that, you could get something like the boots that I currently have, and we'll go through them. First, what I did was made sure that I have the 30% increased movement speed fractured mod, and then I used enchanted fossils to get the attack and cast speed if you've killed recently, which is the best or second best enchant, or I guess it's the best enchant for me because I'm mostly just mapping. This is not a boss killing. I mean, could totally kill bosses, but we're mapping, we want XP, we want to level up, right, in this race, so you want that cast and attack speed if you've killed recently. So that makes it probably the best enchant for boots that I took a little bit, but once I did get it, all I needed to do is just slam pristine fossils, just one socket pristine fossils, until I get a big life roll, and I managed to also get some life regen, which is very decent, but we also have an open suffix that I could slam a resistance here, or what happens here is the non-Val skill deal 50% increased damage during soul gain prevention. So what happens here is that I basically constantly, let me show you, I constantly kill stuff, right? And I constantly fill up my Val Righteous Fire. Alright, so let's charge it up real quickly in the blood aqueducts. Let's just charge it up real quick. There it is. Now we'll wait until the duration of all the charges and all the buffs will expire. And I'm going to show you. Alright, so if you're looking at my DPS right now without any buffs, right? It's 101,224, whatever, right? We'll pop Val Righteous Fire. Obviously, it will increase because we have Val Righteous Fire up right now. But when it goes down, this is soul gain prevention, and right now I get a 50% damage increase, which is about 5k DPS. You see, 106. So this is a bonus that we constantly have, and now it drops to 101. It takes basically 3 seconds to kill a couple monsters, get Val Righteous Fire up again, and you just slam it on cooldown. And when you have an open suffix, you can make use of a craft like this, which is very powerful. It's pretty much, you know, it's another increase in damage, right? It's not a more multiplier, but still 5k DPS increase is quite substantial. And we get stuff like this from increased elemental damage. If you've crit recently, it goes up to 19%. You know, I'm not going to start recrafting and whatever, but, you know, 18% pretty solid. And we have all these increases and some stuff that I wanted to show to kind of like highlight, because these are pretty insane pair of boots. I made use of the fact that fractured mods 30% movement speed is not, you know, the hardest thing to get, and even in Soul Self-Found I managed to finally get it. Once I did, I kept these boots, and I knew that this is what I want. So I just wanted enough enchanted fossils. Once I had the enchant that I wanted, it took a little bit. It took me like 30 enchanted fossils. Took a little bit to get it, but I did get it. And this is the Uber Lab enchant, by the way. The 12% is the Merc, right? So we got the Uber one with the 16% increased stack and cast speed, and then just pristine fossils until we hit big life, and that increased maximum life. Also managed to get some strength, which is, you know, pretty low roll, but again about 10.5 flat life from strength. So pretty sick boots for Soul Self-Found. With that open suffix, managed to get that increased damage during soul gain prevention, which is basically always up because my Val Righteous Fire is always up, and then I got that soul gain prevention thing going. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. It's been a hell of a race, alright? It's been a hell of a race. As you can see right now, I am exactly rank 10 in the race. Don't mind the 10 hour 16 minutes. It's most likely like 2 hours, 2.5 hours if I don't die. I get that 13 or 12% remaining. It's basically 34 million XP that I need. 34 million, 33.5 or so. It's been a hell of an insane race. I thought, hey, let's go and make a class that people likely are not going to be playing. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and yeah, 10, rank 10. So yeah, it's been very, very tough. It's been very hard. People have been pushing. People are still pushing. There's still like 24 hours or so. If I die, I could not get a Demi. You know, there's still a chance I may not get a Demi. These guys are like 30% behind me, which means, I don't know, 6, 7 hours. Depends on how hard they grind and what content they make. At a certain point, I stopped doing Syndicate. Around level 98, I just stopped doing Syndicate altogether because it's too insane. When I see Syndicate in the map, I just escape, exit Path of Exile, relog, start a new map, just completely give up the map. Don't want to deal with that random bullshit of one-shot mechanic. Syndicate is just too stupid. My character is pretty tanky. I just don't do that shit anything at all. I just don't want to die. When you lose 10% XP, it's like so depressing. I've been trying to do it, but I just realized in a race like this, it's better just to grind for about a week. I was doing Beyond, I was doing Syndicate, I was doing all the content, and then I just decided, let's just get XP and just prevent, or just, you know, just not die. Alright, this character, I turned level 98 last Tuesday, right? No, it was last Wednesday, so we're talking over a week, like 10 days, 9 days or so. There's no reason I wouldn't be level 100. The only reason is that I literally stopped doing Beyond and stopped doing Syndicate and stopped doing dangerous content. I went with like easy as possible content. And what I talk about it, what I mean is Atlas strategy was pretty much I got this Elder Blob going on over here. I got Sextants. Whenever I do have Sextants, I do use them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I managed to block with the Lookout and the Geode map both Shaper strongholds. I managed to block Elder in this corner, which is beautiful for me because he cannot start spreading around and, you know, lose his shit all over my Atlas. So no matter what I do, he's pretty much always going to be in the corner. Sometimes he will try and disappear, but when he does, I just kill a Shaper adjacent map, and then he, you know, expands his, you know, control over the Atlas, and then he stays in this corner. Basically, what that means is I do an underground C map, right? And then I run it. I multi-craft a bunch. See, these are all crafted, ready to go. I removed all Beyond, less recovery, triple and even double damage. Like if I see crit and extra damage as elemental or extra damage or whatever, double damage, triple damage, I just do not do. No flask charges, less recovery, obviously reflect, obviously Beyond. Shocking Ground is really bad for my eyes. I just re-roll those. And outside of that, I don't care about, you know, no leech because I don't really need leech. I just use it as a, you know, kind of like as a bonus. I mostly rely on my flask and my, like, I have my healing and I have my, you know, healing and mana flask. So I'm okay with no leech or with hexproof. The only curse I use is Warlord's Mark. And yeah, so I multi-craft a bunch of underground C maps for a very long time. I was doing Jungle Valley, but then I changed my mind because it's kind of like a corner map. The way that it's set up on the Atlas, it's kind of hard to keep Elder. If you watch the stream regularly, I love this map, but the problem with it is that Elder blobs are harder to maintain here than they are here. Here, you know, you got this little area where Elder can spawn, and it's a bit harder to keep Elder going on over here. That, and also the fact that it is a less efficient map, and when the race became a little bit intense and I was trying and still am trying to secure the Demi, there's still 24 hours and things can change, right? What happened is I you know, I decided to change, and instead of going Jungle Valley, for the longest time I had Wharf. Wharf is a map that has where is it? It's here. Wharf is a map that has lucky connections, right? Maybe I have one or two or three. So yeah, lucky connections gives 20 orbs of fusings. So I thought I'll do Wharf. Maybe I'll get it because I was so desperate. I don't like Wharf. It's a very low density map. I really dislike it. So for my tier 15, I don't know. I think I had something different. But yeah, I believe it was Wharf, trying to get as many fusing orbs that I can off of this divination set. And then I changed to Moon Temple, which turned out to be quite awesome. To be honest, Moon Temple, I didn't like it at first, but I realized it's a really nice compartmentalized kind of map. It's hard, I know I'm saying it and I don't want to jinx myself, but it's kind of hard to die there because the monsters are kind of like all compartmentalized in these boxes. You kill a box, you move on, you kill a box, you move on, teleport, move on, box, move on. Alright, so if you have like an obelisk pack or you know, bear pack, you just kill it from a distance and you stay away from the explosions and all the crappy shenanigans that goes on. So it's kind of fairly comfortable map to run. I realized, and you know, I stay with that for basically the entire race. Once I decided enough Wharf is just not doing it for me, I decided to change to Moon Temple, and that's what I've been doing. Also, Moon Temple gives out these cards, and I did have this unique map missing, Now, obviously, I have multiple ones because, yeah, you do get the cards for the Moon Temple, which is, yeah, connected, right? So you get this one, but it's like a small thing, nothing too crazy. Um, what else? Outside of like extremely unlucky, like insanely unlucky when it comes to linking. I mean, 3 weeks without linking, kind of painful. Something incredible happened. The one really lucky thing that happened to me is this. I found an actual unnatural instinct in Soul Found. I mean, we can go through the buffs that it gives me. Obviously, I'm not wielding a staff. We have a staff cluster over here, so it gives all the staff stuff. But no, what I'm actually getting off of it is the little dual wield nodes that we have here. So if you're not familiar with unnatural instincts, it basically mitigates or eliminate the buffs of all allocated big and passive or whatever, but it gives you all the non-allocated bonuses that you have. So all the small bonuses, like here we got 16% increased flask effect, which is very substantial. For everything, because movement speed, onslaught effect, a series promise effect, you know, everything just 16% increased effect. So pretty insane. We get some chance to block, spell, whatever while dual wielding, but we get a whole lot of spell damage and cast speed. I believe there's 5% cast speed in this cluster, and what is it, 20 spell damage off of here. We get spell damage per power charge. So we got 3, so that's 12 more. We get some cast resists over here. Very, very nice little thing that kind of happened in Delve. Unexpected, and we got it. But also, we're getting these lightning, and increased effect of shock. So that's a whole lot of lightning damage that we're getting. Obviously, you could see 94 point something versus the 100 and something that we have. So, I don't know, roughly 7k. Tooltip cheat DPS there. Quite an insane drop for only a 2-point investment. Outside of that, I think we've said everything there is to say about this character. I've been grinding a whole lot. Guardian turned out to be a very well balanced, very fun character to play. I still wish they changed the way that, you know, the model of Templar, the way it walks, you know, the way his neck looks. It's just an awkward looking character. Seems kind of old-fashioned. Totally needs a revamp of character model for sure. Hopefully we get that soon. But yeah, this is basically the recap of this race. It's been a blast. And I really do recommend you guys to check out, you know, Path of Exile content. Normally they would do these kinds of races. It's been insane. You know, you get all these super juiced up maps, super juiced up content with all the harbingers and beyonds and boxes and Perandus and all this shit going on. It's kind of insane. You know, syndicate monsters spawn, jump at you, bestiary beasts. Everything's just like super packed with content to destroy. The build has been amazing, and yeah, what did happen actually. One last thing, we might make a video about it, is soon I am going to level up, hopefully, if I don't fail and die. And what I do want to try is, since the, you know, level 99 pretty much secures me the Demi, we're going to be rank 10 in the end. I do have this chevrons, and I do have a full set of energy shield gear that I've been kind of keeping and trying to perhaps see if I could get this to drop a blessing. And if we get a blessing, then we get Presence of Chayula off of this amulet. In the past couple of days I've been trying to hunt this amulet down, managed to drop it, and we got a Presence of Chayula if we get Blessing of Chayula off of this Breachstone right here that I've been saving. So I'm not going to do it right now because yeah, but level 88, and I do already have a tree for energy shield base, and we could go low life, and then we could pick up Pain Attunement for 30% more spell damage. And I'm curious to see how much energy shield we can manage to get. I got some items here Nothing too crazy. All right, nothing too insane. Just some stuff I managed to, just pick up throughout leveling this character, and some things I managed to pick up. So again, nothing too crazy, nothing too insane. Maybe even this got room for another resist. It seems. Yeah, that seems pretty sweet. Yeah, big fire, big lightning, big cold. So yeah, potentially we make an energy shield. We convert ourselves at level 99 to energy shield just to see how it goes. All right, so just to see how it goes. Maybe if we manage to get the, the shaft is already 6 linked, but the like we need the blessing of Cheola. Yeah. Even though with Guardian, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be okay because we cannot be stunned if we blocked in the past 10 seconds, and we kind of like always, and we cannot be stunned. But getting Presence of Chilla is pretty big for, life as extra energy shield, so it's a big chunk of energy shield bonus. And I wonder to see how this character would play out as energy shield, changing up the playstyle a little bit for the last day and maybe stream that little bit of content. Whew. So yeah, I've been talking a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed, and this is what I've been doing. It's been a blast, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in Legion. Take care, my friends.